Okay, let's dive into one of the world's greatest epics, the Mahabharata. Now, you probably know it as this huge story of war and family and destiny. But what you might not realize is that the whole thing, the entire epic, is built on a foundation of promises. And we're talking some pretty intense promises. Some are divine, some are desperate, and as you'll see, some are just terrible.
So just imagine this for a second. You've come up with a monumental story. An epic for the ages. But it's all in your head. That's the problem the great sage Vyasa is facing. His thoughts are just flowing like a raging river, way too fast for any normal person to write down. He needs someone who can keep up not with the speed of a hand, but with the speed of thought. So who do you even call for a job like that?
Well, you call a god, of course, and this is where we get one of the coolest collaborations in all of mythology. It's a divine partnership with this huge task. Get this story down for all of humanity. But, it was never going to be that simple.
See, their whole partnership, it's really more like an intellectual duel. Lord Ganesha, the elephant-headed god of wisdom himself, he agrees to be the scribe. But both he and Vyasa show up with their own clever conditions. It's this amazing battle of wits, and they haven't even started writing yet.
Okay, so Vyasa's move here is just pure genius. He knows he's going to need to stop and think every now and then. But Ganesha's big rule is that the pen can never stop. So Vyasa adds his own rule. You have to understand every single word before you write it. And that's his brilliant way of building himself a little buffer.
And on the flip side, here's Ganesha's condition. He's basically throwing down a challenge. Pure, non-stop flow. If Vyasa slows down, if he even hesitates for a second, the deal's off. Ganesha's out, and the whole epic just disappears. So, whenever Vyasa needed a break, he'd cook up this incredibly complex verse, something that would make even the god of wisdom have to stop and think for a minute. That gave Vyasa just enough time to compose the next part in his head. Genius, right?
So, the epic itself gets written because of this incredible bargain of wits. But the story inside the epic, well, it also kicks off with a bargain. Only this one isn't driven by cleverness, it's driven by pure, desperate love. And this is where we meet King Shantanu, a ruler who's about to make a promise that will shape everything that comes after.
So one day, King Shantanu is walking by the river and he sees this woman. And she is the most beautiful person he has ever seen. It's instant. He is completely, totally head over heels. He has no idea who she is, no clue where she's from, but he knows right then and there, he just can't live without her. He pretty much begs her to be his queen.
And this mysterious lady, who we'll soon find out is the goddess Ganga, she agrees. But she has some conditions, and they are serious. He can never ask who she is. He can never ask where she's from. And the big one, he can never ever question anything she does. The moment he breaks any of these rules, poof, she's gone forever. And the king, totally blinded by love, just agrees. No hesitation.
So, Shantanu's crazy promise actually leads to a lot of happiness, at first. But it comes with this absolutely terrifying secret, this repeating nightmare that he is completely powerless to stop.
7 times the queen gives birth to a beautiful, healthy son. And 7 times, King Shantanu has to watch, in silent, agonizing horror, as she takes their newborn baby and drowns him in the river. Can you imagine? He wants to scream, he wants to do something, but he can't. He's trapped by that promise he made, and so he says nothing.
But when their 8th son is born, that's it. He just can't take it anymore. As Ganga starts to walk towards the river with the baby, Shantanu finally breaks. He screams at her, "Stop! I won't tolerate this." He chooses his son's life over his vow. And just like that, the deal is broken.
And as soon as the promise is shattered, the truth comes out. She reveals who she really is, Ganga, the goddess of the river. And their sons? They were the 8 Vasus, these heavenly beings who had been cursed to be born as humans and suffer. What she was doing, as horrifying as it was actually an act of mercy. She was freeing the first 7 from their short, cursed lives on Earth. But the 8th one, the one who was the ringleader of the group, his curse was different. He was doomed to live a long, full life of human suffering. And that is their son, Devavrata. Because Shantanu broke his promise, the boy now has to live out that curse. So Ganga tells the heartbroken king, "I'm taking him. I'll train him to be the greatest prince you can imagine, and one day I'll bring him back to you." So years go by, and just as she promised, Ganga returns with Devavrata. and he's incredible, a prince with no equal in skill or wisdom. But life has moved on. King Shantanu has found love again, and this is what sets the stage for what is maybe the most important and most tragic vow in the entire epic.
The king falls in love with a woman named Satyavati, but her father plays hardball. He lays down a steep condition. He'll only agree to the marriage if Shantanu promises that Satyavati's future son will be the next king, not Devavrata, the rightful heir. I mean, what a choice, right? The king just can't do that to his son, so he goes back to the palace totally dejected. And Devavrata, seeing his dad so miserable, decides he has to do something.
So, to make his father happy, Devavrata goes directly to Satyavati's father. And there, he makes this unbelievable sacrifice. He gives up his birthright. He says, I, Devavrata, promise that I will never claim the throne. Just like that, he steps aside to make sure Satyavati's son will be the future king.
But get this, Satyavati's father still isn't satisfied. He's like, okay, that's great for you, but what about your kids? What's to stop them from trying to take the throne from my grandson? And so, Devavrata makes a second vow, one that is even more profound, even more terrible. He promises that he will never marry, that he'll be celibate his entire life, making sure there will never be any children, no heirs, to challenge Satyavati's bloodline, ever.
This sacrifice is so huge, so absolute, that the gods themselves are in awe. They shower flowers from the heavens and give him a new name, Bhishma. It means he of the profound or terrible vow. I mean, think about it. In one single moment, he has given up everything, his crown, a wife, a family, all of it, just for his father's happiness.
So Bhishma's vow works. It secures his father's marriage, but it completely changes his own destiny forever. And the consequences of this one selfless act, they're felt immediately, and they're going to ripple through the family for generations.
When King Shantanu finds out what his son has done, he's just a mix of grateful and completely devastated. As a reward for this unbelievable sacrifice, he gives Bhishma a special gift, a boon, the power to choose his own time of death. This basically makes him invincible, right? A warrior who can't be killed unless he decides it's his time to go.
So let's just step back and look at the two vows that really set this whole dynasty on its path. First, you have King Shantanu. He makes a promise based on pure, blind love, and it costs him almost everything. Then you have his son Bhishma, who makes a promise based on pure, absolute duty, and it costs him his entire future. Both of these vows, made from these emotional extremes, basically lock the royal family into this tragic trajectory, and there's really no turning back.
And that really leaves us with this massive question, doesn't it? Bhishma's vow, it was supposed to bring peace. It was for his father's happiness. But by taking himself out of the picture, by promising to just be the protector of the throne, he accidentally creates the perfect conditions for the massive family conflict he was trying to avoid. So you have to wonder, when a dynasty is built on these impossible promises, what's the ultimate price?